Welcome, welcome, Tarot fam. This is Mixtape Monday, where you guys get to create the content over here at Fortune Cookies Tarot. If it's your first time stopping by, I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. I'm experiencing some microphone issues, so I do have my headset on for this week. And let's giddy up, Buttercup. So before we get started reading your questions from the chat from the last week or so, sometimes I go even further behind, I just wanted to remind you guys that my Black Friday reading specials have started now. I started them on Sunday on Hypsee. There's 75% off your first 10 minutes. There's a cash back feature. There's also up to 20% off scheduled readings through the app. So there's going to be a link down below. I've also created a 3-day sale on my 12-month reading. That is going to have special pricing for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Things are going to get a little chaotic for me as we roll into Thanksgiving and the holiday season. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that the Black Friday Otter Spirit link is live. So everything you need to know is down below. But for Otter Spirit, they have given me an extra special code for 35% off purchases of $99 or more. So if you want to get some intentional jewelry for people that you love, or if you want to treat yourself, you can go over there, use my link down below so they know that I sent you. Today, I am wearing a mix stack. I have garnet for passion, love, aquatic agate for connecting with my inner peace. We all need that in this chaotic holiday time. Leopard skin, I am wearing orange avertine that is embracing limitless possibilities, because I really want to cram as many readings into the next 3 days as possible. And also citrine for mad success. So I've got quite the fun stack on today, and I think it's going to lift me and get me through this chaotic period. Remember that every time you make a purchase from Otter Spirit, it does let them know when you use my link that I sent you over, but it also gives support. They give $1 for every purchase to otters in the wild to help support them. So it's a really great great mission statement that they have. Not only can you lift your spirits and charge your energy every time you move your wrist or your neck, if you get one of their necklaces, or your earrings every time you shake your head, but it does make everybody feel really, really great. I am seeing amazing changes in my energetic profile since I started partnering with them and wearing their jewelry. So I hope that you'll come along and have some fun with that. So just remember, there's 3 ways to save during Black Friday. You can go to my Hypsee app, you can go to my Calendly app, or you can go to Otter Spirit and make some purchases there. I am going to drop a banner down below, and we are going to bring up that card view, and you know what to do. When we bring up the card view, make sure you hit that like button, and we're going to get to your questions right quick. Let's make them nice and big. I know you guys want to see these cards really, really well. So let's get going. So first question is going to be from Nikki. Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Nikki has asked, well, she said, I heard security found Megzy wandering around the Bezos house. And when they discovered there, she lied and said she came out of a bathroom and got lost. Was she, in fact, sneaking around? I just dropped all my cards all over the place. Was she, in fact, sneaking around? We're going to be using the mystical medleys today because I thought we could use a little bit of fun after a chaotic weekend. Was she found doing that? 2 of Wands. Yes, she was, in fact, found doing that. 2 stories, 2 of Wands. So did security believe her? They actually had to pull a bunch of people in, and I do think that she insisted, insisted, insisted. What did Mr. Bezos think of her after that? Ooh, he's running out of patience with that girl. What about Mrs. Bezos, Lauren Sanchez? Nine of Wands. I think Mrs. Sanchez has a little bit more to say about that. I don't think she wanted that Megsy running around in her new mansion. So pretty crazy. Did the story get out? Did the story get out at the party? Were people aware of that at the party? Did they know? Did they know? Did the rumor go around the room? 10 of Cups. Six of Swords. They left. 10 of Swords right after it. They left. And they also were like, oh, we have to go for blah, blah, blah reason. So what was the reason they gave? Let's just have some fun with this. The moon. Oh, we can't say why we're leaving. Oh, I have to work tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow. Queen of Wands. What a load of hooey. Hooey. So let me know down in the chat if you think that Megsy left because she got caught wandering around the house. Let me know if you think that that happened. So where is our next question? Where is our next question? All right, boys and girls. I got another one from Sophie Kent. Sophie wants to know if I can do a reading on the comedian Akash Singh and his wife Jocelyn. I don't know who they are. I didn't look them up. And so we're going to take a look right now. Let's see how these two are doing. Six of Cups, harkening back to old times. The Empress. The Empress does indicate pregnancy. So perhaps they are thinking about a pregnancy of your. Looks like there's some issues there. Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. I think there is some information that possibly is getting out about them soon, mainly about the wife. I think there's a lot of indicators here about his wife. So really focused on her. What's going on with Jocelyn? Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles, a lot of chaos here. And looking back, a lot of looking back for the two of them. So the Seven of Pentacles and Six of Cups are really about some nostalgia, looking backward and looking at how things were once upon a time. The Five of Swords and that Five of Pentacles both being in reverse indicate chaos that's really out of control, both with the way people are thinking about things and the ways and means of inclusion. So the Five of Pentacles, and I love this card. I love teaching this card to my students. The Five of Pentacles depicts in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, which it does depict in this this mystical medleys deck, the mendicants, which were a religious sect, a Christian sect, that were giving up all of their worldly creature comforts and their money and their finances. They would give all of that up to become more aesthetic and become closer to God as a result of that. So this, I think, is stepping away from the union just a little bit to see how things would be, possibly taking a breather, a maybe temporary separation, whether that is by design or by happenstance. I do think that they are kind of giving each other a little bit of space. So what do we see for the future for them? What do we see for the immediate future for them? Immediate future for them. So I do think that they are at a very critical crossroads in their relationship. Here, the world indicates that we can either level up to a better level of relationship or we can end it. This Queen of Swords looks like she is more suited to end the relationship. to dissolve it, move on to something else. They're both biding their time, but not quite looking at all of the issues and addressing them with this hermit in reverse. Over here, we have the star in reverse, which says, I don't really see any future in this situation. Again, I know nothing about either of these people. Down here, escape from the situation. So when I'm done with Mixtape Monday, I'm probably going to go and look them up. But I'm thinking that there is possibly some issue with progeny, with children, and that it looks like the she is a bit more inclined to skippity doo on out. So that's unfortunate. I hope that that's not the case. Let's give them a little yellow brick road real quick. So we'll give them the path, which is change. This is absolutely changing things. A note, that particular lady has a baby in her arm. So the path, the pressure is the working. The the hidden hand is there's a lot of anxiety with these two. A lot of anxiety, public face, incommunicado, private goal, high priestess. They both want to be right. And then the likely pivot is the Six of Wands. This, it looks like the relationship is a little rocky. Again, I don't know who these people are, but I do wish them the best of luck. Hopefully, their yellow brick road winds up in a better spot than that. So we're going to leave them there. Thanks for the suggestion, Sophie. Okay, so um Diane has an interesting observation. Um I think the old guard, this in regard to the royal family, I think the old guard would be fearful of the changes William wants to make. But I believe William sees social change in the world that he feels measured must be drastic for the monarchy to survive. Conversely, he doesn't want a repeat of what went on with his grandmother and father's reigns and the inaction they both followed. He's looking for a clean, family oriented monarchy that serves the people. So let's do this. Let's have some fun and let's see what vision William has for the monarchy. So, what vision does William have for the monarchy? And this is in response to Diana's observation. In a perfect world, what would William design for the royal family? The Fool, little bit of recklessness there, a little bit of change, little bit of change. And Eight of Pentacles, interesting in reverse. 10 of Wands in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse. Strength in reverse. And the King of Cups. That is super curious. This is why. Because this recklessness of the Fool in reverse suggests that they want less working royal FaceTime. He would like to see less all around in your face kind of work. He wants the work to be undercover. He doesn't want it to be splashity splash splash splashed everywhere. So does this mean like the patronages that they are tasked with bringing more attention to? I don't think so. I think it's the other things that they do, the support, the altruism, not necessarily promotion of the patronage, but the work that they're doing, I think they want very, very quiet. Is that in respect to how and where they are at all times? I think so. I think William would like the big events to continue um, in a limited capacity. So, do we get, a bunch of state dinners, a bunch of things like that? Yeah, we still have those, but perhaps we pare down some of the events. Um, I think that the world is too much with us. We need to dial back the royal family. I have long said that I think William wants to turn the royal family into more of a business structure where you're born into the business, you're trained into the business, and then you go about that business very, very successfully and well trained for it. I think what he is trying to avoid are the Prince Harrys of the equation. They don't want a trained sock puppet who is going to stand up there and just regurgitate words. I've always said that Harry learned his lines with the royal family very well because it was something that he believed in. But now, under the tutelage of Meghan Markle, it's very, very hard for him to remember the lines. Remember, generational pain versus genetic pain. That was supposed to be generational pain. He missed his line. He flubbed it. So he has a little bit of trouble remembering those lines. So I think if he's not walking the walk, if he doesn't get it, he's not going to be able to present it. So I think that William is trying to immerse the remaining royal family members that are going to be client facing, public facing, subject facing. I think he is really trying to immerse them in the culture, have them be true believers. Now, does that sound terrible? It doesn't sound terrible. I think the best leaders are born and bred. I think the best family members to take over a family business are born and bred in that family. And they understand that business. They have a vested interest in it. Whether you're a chocolatier or a manufacturer or a police officer. My husband Greg came from a legacy police family. There were generations of legacy police that all went into law enforcement. So, the best families that have law enforcement build great cops. They build responsible police officers, responsible law enforcement officers, peacekeepers, if you will. So I do think that William is on to a good thing. Is he going to find a lot of difficulty in that? Absolutely. He's going to find those cousins that are tucked away in little apartments here and there or grace and favor homes that are going to go, wait, what do you mean I'm evicted? What do you mean I have to leave? What do you mean I'm no longer getting my stipend? He's going to hear those things because he is finding out that the influence for remote family members and courtiers and individuals that are within the royal construct, there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of trimming that can happen. I think William's going to be the guy to do it. Um, will he have a measured approach to the inaction of his father and mother? Will he have a measured approach, or is he coming in there with a sword a swinging? Oh, that's a sword of swinging, isn't it? Isn't it? Um, it's not what he wants to do. William is the CEO that takes over a company only to find out that it's, bankrupt by the last leadership, that it's staffed with people that are totally not doing their jobs, that are totally sitting around and reaping the benefits and vacationing all day long. So I do think that he is going to have a very difficult reign ahead of him. I think the monarchy looks very different in his vision, but I also think that he is not embracing this. He is not William the psychotic coming in wielding this sword and chopping away at everyone that's there. Not gonna be a pleasant time for him. So, what is William's yellow brick road for this? Let's give him a yellow brick road. How can he best create this royal family vision? Here's his path, the moon. Full disclosure, he has got to let people know what he's doing. The pressure. Knight of Wands, he's going to have a lot of people that stand up and go, I can do that job. I can do that job. I can do that job. The hidden hand is that he needs to preserve and protect what is remaining of the royal family. public face, he's going to say this is something that is out of his control, that this is the evolution of the royal family so that they can survive. Private goal is to really cut off all of the riffraff and the likely pivot. He is not going to be generous with a lot of those people. So, this is an unfortunate circumstance for William. I do think that he has to prune the rose bush in order to make sure that it blooms beautifully for the future. So, it's unfortunate. Poor William, poor William. But we'll all be there. We'll all support him. I don't think there's going to be cousins and other people that are going to be cheering William on, but I do think we're all going to support him in this. So here's a little fun fact for you from Too Late. I almost said Too Latte. Too Late. Too Late said in a recent poll here in Britain, 93% don't want either megalomaniac or hazard. If megalomaniac ever steps foot back in Britain, there will be a revolution. So we are going to respond to Too Late's post here that 93% of people in Britain do not want Harry back. So, yeesh, or they don't want Meghan back. So let's see. Let's see. What will happen if Harry comes back to Great Britain? How will the public respond? So, you know that scene in Game of Thrones where Cersei gets to walk down the street buck naked and she has all kinds of rotten stuff thrown at her, and she has one of the matrons ringing a bell, shame, shame. That is what people are going to require of him. Harry is going to be required to stand up and tell his story. He's going to be required to do that. Will he do so? I think he will. Three of Pentacles, but he's going to word it very carefully. He's going to say, "Oh, not say a bad word about the mother of my children. The mother of my children." Ah. I think he will have something to say, but it's not going to be good enough. He is not going to work with courtiers to present that sentiment, and it is going to be kind of spanning all groups. So, if again, if Harry is brought back by either his father or his brother, one of the requirements is going to be that he mea culpa and retract some of the terrible things that he said. He won't do it entirely. He will do it partially, and he will try and keep Meghan calm on her side, the royal family satisfied, the British public satisfied as well. Is it going to work? Past, present, future, absolutely not. They are going to, the public is going to respond by saying, once a liar, always a liar. They are going to say every word that comes out of his mouth is a lie, and we would like him to sit down, shut up in a nice, cozy cottage somewhere far, far away from all of the polite people. Now, what will happen? And I think this is highly unlikely. If Meghan is brought back, I think it is highly unlikely that she will ever be back on British ground at all. I don't think she will ever go back. But what will happen? Oh, devastation. You reap what you sow. So they are going to give her two heaping spoonfuls of shut the hell up. They are going to say, this is the course that you put in action. So unfortunately, Meghan Markle has betrayed and maligned all of the people that could roll out that red or blue carpet for her. Remember when she got married, they were going to give her a blue carpet. She didn't want it. She wanted the red carpet. So then she had no carpet. Just completely ridiculous. So if she comes back, what will the public do? I am terrified of this card. Four of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, bring her out on display. They want a Cersei Lannister moment for her, absolutely, but not so that they can forgive her, just so they can throw rotten fruit at her. Yankee Wally, I'm looking at you. Get your tomatoes ready, girl, because I'm seeing it. How's the public going to respond? Very, very heated, and they will actually demand that she be removed from the public eye, removed from the country. There will be petitions and polls to have her exiled from Britain. How terrible do you have to be to get exiled from a country? Just asking for a friend. So this is what I see in terms of that poll. So is the poll accurate? This 93% that don't want Meghan or Harry back in the United Kingdom. I think it's pretty accurate, guys. So let me know what you think in the comment. Let me know what you think if they came back. What would your reaction be if you're one of my friends in the United Kingdom? How would you react if Harry was brought back? How would you react if Meghan was brought back? I know there's kids. I know you guys keep asking me about the kids. We'll talk about them in a bit. Oh my goodness. What a day. Hope your week is starting out great. All right. We got one from Stella. Stella wants to know about Jeff Bezos and Kris Jenner. Why did he throw that party? Let's get it unpacked, kids. So why did Jeff Bezos throw that party for Kris Kardashian Jenner? Her name is Kris Jenner. I thought she was Kris Kardashian. I thought she went back after she got divorced, but I guess not. I was corrected. So why did he throw that party for Kris Jenner? Let's see. The Fool in Reverse, because he likes throwing parties. He's in party mode. He didn't have anything else going on at the moment. Really, Jeff Bezos? Seven of Cups, Nine of Wands. So, Page of Wands in reverse. So, Jeff Bezos, I think, and this isn't to say that he's a lazy dude or he doesn't have anything going on, but Jeff Bezos he's getting his party on right now. He is still in party mode. And this was Greg and I when we got married too. We had like a year and a half of people feting us. Like every 5 minutes, people were like, "Oh, let me take you out to dinner. Let's go do this. Let's go do that." And it was wonderful. It was great. Like we had a great time with our people. But after a while, it does kind of wear out. So why there are all kinds of traditions for mourning that go days and days and days. Why not have celebrations? I myself often had a 12 days of bad decisions for the month of July, running up to my birthday, which was super, super fun. I would post like all kinds of weird stuff on the internet, and I would encourage people to do things like don't use any hair product. Don't wear any foundation today. Don't wardrobe plan for the week because I know you all wardrobe plan. So I think Jeff Bezos is just in a party mode. I think he was keen on doing it. What is his relationship like with Kris Jenner? What is his relationship like with Kris Jenner? I saw she did the wrapping commercial, um, paper wrapping, not she's like not yo wrapping. What Jeff Bezos and Kris Jenner's relationship? Now this is interesting. These are the things that they share, guys. They actually are sharing a fear that they've kind of topped out, that they've kind of topped out in their industries. And they're using each other to figure out, I shouldn't say using each other, but they're looking to each other to figure out new ways of revenue generation. I like this. I think they have a very business-like relationship, but both of them are worried about the collapse of their empire. Not, I don't want to say collapse of their empires, but collapse of or reduction of their uh, revenue streams that they've become comfortable with. So over here, we're looking at new revenue streams, new ways to bring things in, looking at the ways that things worked in the past, what worked best, what didn't work best, and up here without planting any more seeds. So they are looking to kind of branch off or clone or spur off some new things. And we see that in the Five of Wands here. They're going to bring in some other things. So very, very interesting. I think if these two get together and start talking business and we start seeing yield from that, we're going to see some very interesting stuff coming out. So maybe it's going to be a blending of entertainment and delivery. Who knows? I don't know. It's going to be really cool. This is a business relationship. This is why Jeff Bezos threw the party for her. He's still in party mode. Their business relationship, this was really, I know Meghan Markle was marketing herself at it, but I do think that there was some marketing that was going on. They are opening up the doors to say, you are the anointed. You guys are the ones that are part of our team. Come on in. Let's have some fun. Let's have some cocktails. Let's get down and dirty and have a ball, literally a ball. So let's keep an eye on them. We'll put a pin in this for now. So we've got another one. This is from Marnie. Hey, Marnie. So Marnie has asked specifically for the next Mixtape Monday. So Marnie, here you go. Whoops. There we go. We are cool. So Trevor Engelson from Marnie Hall. I've always wondered what was the trigger for them to get married, meaning Meghan Markle and Trevor Engelson in 2011, since they had been dating and or living together for about 7 years, especially since Suits also debuted that year. Who pushed for the marriage? Was it him or her? And what was the motivation? Let's see. Him, her. So I don't necessarily think that it was Trevor. Now, hear me out, because everyone says that Trevor was devastated when she sent back the rings. And there is some word on the street that Trevor's family didn't love her. They did. I think that's my understanding, that they did not think she was the greatest thing ever. They liked her, but they didn't think she was the greatest thing ever. So, what was Trevor's motivation? Knight of Swords. This is a little bit sad. So, I think that she was unhappy in the relationship and kind of saying, I don't know. I don't know. Like, if this doesn't go on any, like if we're not moving on, we're not moving on. I think she did that. I think he was afraid she was going to cut and run. I think he was afraid of that. That is this Knight of Swords, a little bit of fear that we're going to lose what we have. I do think that some revelation was made with that moon in reverse and the Seven of Pentacles. Well, if we're not going anywhere, we're not going anywhere. So I think this was really what was going on. Lovers put it together. Now she'll be happy. Thank God. Little did he know. Her motivations over here, Wheel of Fortune, 5 of Cups, 7 of Cups. Her motivation was, I've got a good thing going on now. I just don't know if this relationship is going to be sustainable now that my world is opening up. Remember, he got her that job. Over here, I don't know if like our relationship can sustain the distance if I'm going away to work. Like, who knows what's going to happen? And there could be a whole host of people that I meet there. So I think she actually dropped the plot for what was going to happen. I think she dropped the plot that she was possibly going to meet someone else there. Oh my God. If we're not married, we're not married. We're not engaged. We're not engaged. There may be somebody out there who wants to buy this cow. Sorry, I had to say it. So, did Trevor relent? Did he relent? I think he was happy one way or the other. I just think, that happy squirrel is a card that's specific to this deck. And the happy squirrel is like a giddy kid, like a giddy teenager, toddler that got an ice cream cone or a lollipop or whatever their heart's desire. And I think that he was happy to go one way or the other. I don't think he really cared one way or the other. Whether they got married or not. And some guys are like that. Greg was like that. Greg was like, I don't care if we get married or not. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of a deal breaker for me. So the 6 of Pentacles is interesting here because the 6 of Pentacles, when it's in the upright, often depicts an inequity of power differential, power balance, or financial control, those kinds of things. And in this sense, the happiness was not in his favor. He really was subject to the level of happiness that Meghan was exhibiting or demonstrating. So he was not only responsible for her happiness, but like she was like the dark cloud in the room. If she wasn't happy, everyone else was going to be unhappy. So I think that was part of it. It was going to make her happy. It's going to make her happy. I got to do it. So what about her? What about her? 10 of Wands. I've waited long enough. There's a whole big world out there for me. I've waited long enough. So I think she put the pressure on here. So if there was any kind of pressure, I think it was her pressuring him just for fun. Just for fun. Is there any chance that Meghan Markle said she would not marry him until he got her a notable role? No, no, no. So we're going to leave that there. Hope you guys like that. Let me know what you think. Who do you think pushed for the marriage, huh? Let me know what you think. So this is a little sad. We're going to go into a little sad thing. So Carolyn Kennedy Schlossberg, her daughter Tatiana, is only 35, and she was diagnosed with a form of leukemia after the birth of her second child. Her children are quite young, and it is terminal. She just announced that it is terminal. Kennedys have a long and storied history of being cursed. There's actually a book called The Kennedy Curse, and it catalogs all of the unfortunate mishaps of the Kennedy family, disease, stroke, uh, accident, plane crashes, fascinations, you name it, guys. We've all been alive during this. So, according to the article that Tatiana wrote, and she's an environmentalist. According to you can go see her at Tatiana Schlossberg.com. She has a website up there. She's a public speaker and also an environmentalist. She looks a lot like her mother and favors the Jacqueline Bouvier side of the family. So, very pretty gal, very, very sad. She's quite young. Let's do a quick read for her and just see if we can give her some light. So, yeah, that's Empress in reverse, Knight of Swords in reverse. That's just telling me, we're coming to a close. Seven of Pentacles, a lot of regret over where she's been. One of the things that we see with cancers and pregnancy, the pregnancy hormone will often speed up pregnancy growth hormones will often speed up the growth of cancers and things like that. They can have an effect on it. Um, I do think that they will continue with some measures to keep her comfortable. But unfortunately, that Six of Swords, it looks like we are in a difficult phase. So, gosh, will her legacy be remembered well? Oof. It's a tough read, guys. She is not getting really to fulfill a public destiny. Privately, yes. Privately, she's going to be able to fulfill some things. I mean, again, her kids are really little. It's very, very sad. But her public destiny, she's not going to fill all of the cups. She's just not going to be able to do that. So it is very, very sad and unfortunate. Very sad and unfortunate. I'm going to leave that there. But I am going to switch it up, and I'm going to talk about her jerky brother, Jack Slops. So I want to switch it up to Jack Blossberg because he is now running for office. He made fun of his uncle, or I'm sorry, cousin. It's his cousin. RFK Jr. is the cousin of, or second cousin. I guess it's second cousin of RFK Jr. He made fun of his voice. We all know that RFK Jr. has an issue with vocal paralysis, and that's why his voice sounds like that. And Jack Schlossberg thought it was hilarious to go on Instagram or TikTok and make fun of his uncle because he doesn't agree with his political stand or his partnership with the current president, Donald Trump. How is Jack going to do in his little political endeavor? Page of Cups, he's not likable. Sun in reverse, people are going to find out he's not likable. Nine of Cups in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, Four of Wands in reverse, and the Two of Cups. The only way he sees success in this political endeavor is if he partners up with someone who is quite likable, or if he partners up with that Kennedy legacy, which I think RFK Jr. has already kind of stepped into that. I think he is really living that legacy because he is in politics. He's much more aligned with the belief structures of the Kennedy family when they were in office. Remember that the liberals of the 60s are now much more aligned with the libertarian Republican sort of people. The liberals have gone much, much further to the left and probably would not be in alignment with RFK or JFK. So with that in mind, Jack Schlossberg is going to need to partner up with someone who's much more likable. We've got the sun in reverse. His unlikability is going to be on full display. He is not educated enough to take on these roles. The White House is no place for him, and the Nine of Cups has no luck for him. Let's see what Grandpa thinks. Let's see what JFK would have to say to Jack Schlossberg about the way he has conducted himself thus far. Era. I think he would say that family comes first. Era. Two of Wands, you have departed from the family. You need to bring it back home, baby boy. You need to bring it back home because we don't criticize other Kennedys in this house. Fun fact, and I tell my kids about this all the time, if the Kennedys did not come in first, Dad, the patriarch, Joe Kennedy, would make them eat in the kitchen. They weren't allowed to eat at the dining room table with the rest of the family. It was a big insult. So get back together with the family, find your message, and find a running mate. Find someone who is going to be the sweet to your sour. Page of Swords and the Lovers. King of Pentacles. He has to get away from the political alignment with the party. He has to find his own voice, not the party line. He's got to find the Kennedy line. That's what JFK up here is talking about. He wants him to change that storyline. He's a little too wiggly. What's his biggest complaint about his grandson, Jack Schlossberg, is that he has no patience. He needs to develop patience. Biggest complaint. He has no patience. What else? He has to think before he speaks, and that is what will make him move forward. Okay. What does he think is his best attribute? Well, his best attribute is that he wants to be a change maker, but he doesn't have the ability to do it yet. So he needs the generosity of the people. He needs to get down into the ditches and start working with the people, not necessarily governing from a higher point. He needs to get down and get to know some of the people, not the well-heeled millennials that are rolling around on the Upper East Side. He needs to get down and dirty and find the people that are going to listen to him. So that's what I have to say about that. For fun, we're going to do a little bonus reading on this one. How would RFK feel about Jack Schlossberg being in such defiance of the work of RFK Jr.? So this is Uncle Robert, Uncle Bobby, talking to Jack Schlossberg about how he treated Bobby Jr. Era. I'm not, oh, this is brutal. I'm not bothered by it because RFK should cut him off. Cut him off. Scrape him off. Schlumpy. What was it, Greg? Scrape him off. Stumpy. What was his name? Scrape him off, Lumpy. That's it. Scrape him. Scrape him off. Thanks a lot, Lumpy. So I think RFK Jr. would have a zero tolerance policy with his great nephew, Jack Schlossberg. I think he would say, get rid of him. This is no bother. He said what he said. He made some mistakes. You don't need to entertain this particular individual anymore, blood or no. RFK Jr., or RFK Sr. from Beyond being a staunch supporter of his branch of the Kennedy tree. So let me know what you think of Jack Schlossberg in the comments. I mean, he had some really terrible things to say. The only thing that I know about him is what he said about Bobby Kennedy Jr. So you may be in the same boat, but let me know what you think. So we're going to do a couple of quick questions right here. Um, these are all from Diana. So Meghan did a fashion shoot and interview with Harper's Bazaar, the art issue. Did she steal or take the clothing after? So did Meghan, on brand, steal the clothing or the shoes that she had in the Harper's Bazaar photo shoot? No. Why not? Seven of Wands, 10 of Swords. They had her number, guys. They pulled the stuff as soon as they could. They whipped it on, whipped it off. Whipped it on, whipped it off. No, she didn't get the stuff. This is interesting. How do the whales children feel about their parents? How do the whales children feel about their parents? Start with George. Mom and dad. So he thinks that his mom is less powerful in their family. This is in their family. It feels that mom is less powerful, but it is appropriately so. She defers to her husband, whereas his father he sees as very generous, but still in that leadership role. Remember, we said earlier in Mixtape Monday that the Six of Pentacles indicates a power differential. So he really looks up to his father, exalts his father as a leader. What does Charlotte think of mom and dad? Mom, she wishes, was more of the typical mom, like, just kind of hanging out around the home. She wants that happy home, warm feeling. But you have to remember, Catherine is a working mother. She is a working mother. She does have things that she has to do. It's only going to get more intense as they get closer and closer to those thrones. And William, she would like him to communicate more. Sometimes dads don't communicate with their young ladies. All right, Louie, mom and dad. So Louis, I do think is their wild card. I don't think they have any choice about this. He is just a wild card for them. Um, the separation that he feels from his mother, I do think his mother is more of a disciplinarian with him. That's why there is this, I'm just going to kind of stay out of the fray. And over here, temperance, he goes up and down with his dad. He's in trouble. He's not in trouble. I don't think Louis is a bad kid. I think Louis is a different kid, but I do think that he butts heads with both of them. So, God bless him. God bless him. But I think they do have a pretty good family. So we'll leave it there. Ah, let's move it on back to Serena Williams. How is Serena doing after her tennis career? How is Serena Williams doing now that she is done with tennis? King of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Five of Swords, Two of Swords. Retirement is difficult for people. And I do think that she's trying to figure out what her role is now. Now, she does have children, she does have a family and a husband. But I think she's trying to figure out where her uh, ambition goes now that the career is over for all intents and purposes. So I do think that she is cooking up some ideas, but she's not quite sure where to go with them. There is an effort to not be quite the CEO of something. She doesn't want to do that. And at the same time, she doesn't want to be tasked with managing or sheep herding a whole bunch of others. So I think that that makes sense. She doesn't really want to have to go to work every day, but she does need an outlet for this cultivated ambition. Some people are just naturally ambitious, and some people, cultivate that ambition after a lengthy career, an exciting career, a successful career. It's very hard. That dopamine kick that she gets when she wins, when she gets an award, when a protege has some success, like all of that really is something that kind of has to feed the beast. What could she do? Two of Cups, protege. Nine of Swords, Ace of Wands. She needs to find her successor. So is that one of her children? Possibly. It could be. Her kids are still pretty little. But I do think that she can pluck a little tennis kid out of somewhere and start to bring them up. I think she knows how difficult it is to do that from the experience with her father. Her father cultivated her career and her sister's career. And I think she knows the steps that you can take when that protege is your own child, and the steps that you can take when that protege belongs to someone else or has some autonomy outside of your family. So I think that unique blend may give her an interesting insight into coaching and cultivation of proteges. And all I'm thinking right now is Blades of Glory. Blades of Glory is one of my favorite movies. It's got Napoleon Dynamite, I can never remember his name, and Will Ferrell. What's his name? John Heater, thank you. Yeah, so, um, Hater? 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 So, let's do a yellow brick road for Serena. So here is her path. Her path is confused. It's movement blocked. The pressure is trying to get that work-life balance and or work or no, retirement life balance. So, hidden hand here, the hangman, she's going to figure out that she gets a little bit bored, public face, Six of Swords, and private goals to be happy. That Six of Swords is her transitioning, navigating into a common likely life. So the private goal is to be very happy. What is her likely pivot? The star. We're going to see her again. We're going to see Serena Williams out there again, not just at like baby to baby events and altruistic things. I think she's going to show up. Is she going to turn into like a Bella Caroli or something like that? Perhaps. Maybe that's what we're going to see. I'd like to see that. I loved Bella Caroli. When I was a gymnast, I wanted him to coach me. I would have been so good. But there it is. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we're back to Jeff Bezos, still sticking with Diana's questions. She had a lot of them this week. So, is Jeff Bezos happy now that he's married again? Is Jeff Bezos happy in his new marriage to Lauren Sanchez? Well, he's getting a lot of action there. Four of Cups, Three of Swords in reverse, Nine of Cups, yes. Seven of Cups. The world is his. That scene where you go into Scarface's mansion and he's got the world is yours or the world is mine or whatever it was on the fountain. He is healing from past sadness. He's healing from it. He is moving into his future. I'm trying not to touch the table so it doesn't wiggle, guys. Working on camera stuff for the new year. I will have much more stable cameras. Maybe things will stabilize in 2026 for me. But he's going absolutely ballistic. A lot of passion in this marriage. He doesn't care what people think about him and Lauren Sanchez down here. This is actually the culmination of his manifestation. He had manifested a wife like this. So, little, nerdy Jeff Bezos, who started out with book delivery service, he is now as happy as can be. 9 of Cups, wish come true. And over here, 7 of Cups, they could do anything they want in the future. They've got plenty of money. They've got looks. He's been doing all the body hacking. She looks phenomenal as well. Why not? They look terrific. Great people, I guess. Have a happy life. Have a happy life together, guys. So, all right. Do we have any other questions that we want to tackle today? This is a long Mixtape Monday. A very, very long Mixtape Monday. So let's do one more Jeff Bezos question. What does Jeff Bezos and his wife and the Kardashians think of Prince William and Princess of Wales, Catherine? Catherine, Princess of Wales. I said her name backwards. Let's start with Jeff Bezos. What does he think of the Prince and Princess of Wales? He thinks that they're going to change the monarchy, that William is going to wield much more power and take them out of the doldrums and free up the royal family just a little bit. So let's see if there's some collaboration between them. Curious there. What does Lauren Sanchez think of the Prince and Princess of Wales? Sevens in reverse, reordering. She thinks that they're reordering things. She is hopeful that there is a friendship there, but she's not so sure that there could be. Working with them, I do think she wants to lean into some of the environmental stuff. I think that is one of the goals for her. So, interesting. What about Kris Jenner? What about Kris Jenner? What does she think of the Prince and Princess of Wales? She loves them and wants to work with them. 2 of Swords, 4 of Wands, 8 of Wands. She is blocked from contacting them. She doesn't have a direct line to them. They feel a little bit McDonald's-y to me, the Kardashians, as far as their exposure to the Waleses. So it just feels like we're not quite there. They're going to have to talk to like third and fourth level support team before they can get to the Waleses. So that's kind of what I think about that. So, interesting. Interesting. Let's just, for fun, yes. Yes. That was funny. I don't know if that got picked up because I'm on my headset. Greg said full of fillers and flavor, but lack of substance. Nutritional value. Let's see what Jeff Bezos thinks of the Sussexes right now, today, right now. 4 of Wands, they are the party at hand, and they are easily influenced to walk off that hill. Judgment's in reverse, 7 of Cups, there's so much about them. 3 of Cups, he actually sees them as an asset because people hate watch them. Sorry, hate to say it. He knows people hate watch them. He knows people are just like, ugh, they're like kind of awful. So that is what he actually is attracted to. Um, there is something about hate watching. I know, any Harry and Meghan video that I do gets a lot of views. People are jumping right on it as soon as it goes up. But Jeff Bezos is pretty keen on that. He pretty much gets it. So if he can utilize that to make $1.25, why wouldn't he? So, guys, we are going to wrap it up for today, and I hope that you really enjoyed this version of Mixtape Tarot. I do this every Monday. So if you're watching it for the first time, drop your questions down below because I will possibly answer them in the next installment of this. So remember, I have a sale going on for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. You guys are going to see this video on Monday, but Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I have sales going on where I'm price matching for my Calendly link and my Hypsee link. So you can get discounts on either one. Hypsee is giving cash back to all of my my appointments though, so that's a pretty cool thing that you're getting some cash back. Also, there's some incentives to come on board. And I have done a 12-month reading special for you guys in my Calendly app, too. I'm going to sneeze. I have a sneeze coming. Bless me. Bless me in the comments. And don't forget Otter Spirit, who is my I'm an ambassador for Otter Spirit. It's one of the company. It's the only company that I have partnered with. It's the only one that made any sense. It is an intentional jewelry company where you can change your vibrational profile just by wearing some bracelets, by wearing something pretty. I like to wear something pretty. The holidays are coming. They have beautiful necklaces. They have beautiful earrings. I am only wearing the bracelets because they give me the most bang for my buck because I'm shaking my hands all day long while I'm shuffling the cards. So you guys can go in there. You can use Fortune 35 for the remainder of the month for 35% off any purchase over $99. When the month is over, you can still get 30% off any purchase of $99 or more with Fortune 30. And always you can get 20% off any purchase for Fortune 20 code. But right now they do have some sales. So they always have the monthly bundle. You can get 6 bracelets put together, the minis or the regular size. They also have a really big bundle where you can buy a whole bunch of stuff. All the codes are down below, whether you want to book a reading, get some intentional jewelry, raise your vibration, gift away for the holidays. I love that you can shop at Otter Spirit by gemstone, zodiac, intention. There's all kinds of drop downs, so you can go in there, use my link, and have some fun shopping and buy some stuff for some of your people. So, guys, I am going to split for today. I hope you had some fun with this. I hope you enjoyed this version of Mixtape Monday. I will be back next week. I am going to be busy all through Thanksgiving and the Black Friday weekend because those of you that know, I have a new part-time gig. So I am going to be doing that part-time gig a lot this week and a lot over the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I am going to be off schedule indefinitely, but you can still get readings with me every other day of the week and various hours on the weekend. I will keep you guys posted on what my new schedule is. But until then, take advantage of the next 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, or wait, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, those days. So, all right, guys, I will see you real soon in the future.